Some of the most sought-after personalities at the Olympics aren't exactly athletes. They're the mascots.
Sumi, Kwachi, Niga.
And then there's Muck Muck, their sidekick. Muck Muck is an endangered Vancouver Island marmot.
These species at risk, of which Muck Muck is a very public example, are telling us that ecosystems are beginning to fray at the edges.
Muck Muck, Sumi, part grizzly, and Miga, part killer whale, represent 3 of the almost 2,000 species in the region that are in trouble. In Canada, a federal act requires provinces to come up with recovery strategies for at-risk species. Through captive breeding programs, the number of Vancouver marmots has shot up to a couple hundred from just 30 in 2002. But environmentalists say they've found documents proving that the BC government has avoided protecting land that is critical to the survival of several kinds of plants and animals.
86% of species at risk in British Columbia are at risk because of the degradation and the loss of habitat. And what we're seeing is that when the federal government says to the province of BC, okay, go ahead and write those recovery strategies, that the province of BC is not identifying habitat.
British Columbia's environment minister says the province is doing what it can and has more than doubled the land protected from logging to 14% in the past 2 decades.
British Columbia has more parks and protected areas that are legally protected than anywhere else in Canada. And we're doing all that to try and maintain a legacy for the future and to make sure there's homes here for wildlife. But there are also homes here for British Columbians, for people. And that's the balance that needs to be struck. Part of sustainability is the ability of people to have a job and income.
These days, a certain high-profile marmot can be seen in plentiful numbers all around Vancouver. The question is if his kind will manage to stick around, and whether they will have where to live and raise their young.